In a forgotten corner of Whispering Woods stood an old mansion, rumored to be haunted. Its windows were dark, its gardens overgrown, and a hush always hung heavy in the air around it. Nobody dared to go near it. Local legend spoke of a ghost named Casper, who wandered its halls, unable to find peace. Casper was said to be a friendly ghost, but his presence made the air chilly, and a sense of melancholy followed him wherever he floated. One breezy autumn afternoon, a curious boy named Leo, known for his adventurous spirit and kind heart, decided he would unravel the mystery of the mansion. He wasn't afraid of ghosts, not really, but he was intrigued by the stories. Armed with a flashlight and a backpack full of snacks, Leo cautiously approached the mansion. The gate creaked open, as if welcoming him, and dead leaves crunched under his bright red sneakers. Inside, dust motes danced in the slivers of light that peeked through the tattered curtains. The air was cold, even though the sun was shining outside. "Hello?" Leo called out, his voice echoing through the vast empty entrance hall. "Is anyone home?" Suddenly, a translucent, shimmering figure appeared from behind a grand, draped staircase. It was Casper, the ghost. He floated silently, his big, round blue eyes looking surprised. Casper was a friendly ghost, with a faint, ethereal glow, but there was a sadness in his gaze. He wore a simple white sheet that billowed slightly around him, and his ghostly form was slightly transparent. Leo, rather than being scared, smiled. "You must be Casper," he said, extending a hand, which, of course, Casper couldn't shake. "I am Leo. I've heard so much about you." Casper tilted his head, a faint, curious smile appearing on his ethereal face. He didn't speak, but a soft, mournful sigh seemed to ripple through the air. "Are you looking for something?" Leo asked gently, noticing the way Casper drifted from room to room, his gaze lingering on old, dusty furniture, as if searching for a forgotten memory. Casper nodded slowly, his form flickering slightly. He pointed a translucent finger towards a dusty, antique grandfather clock in the corner of the room. It was old and grand, but stopped. Leo walked over to the clock, examining its ornate carvings and tarnished brass. "This clock, what about it?" he wondered aloud. He saw a small, faded photograph tucked into the frame. The photograph showed a joyful family, a boy who looked remarkably like Casper, standing beside the grandfather clock, his arm around a girl, both smiling brightly. It was a moment of pure happiness. Casper stood closer, his translucent form hovering over Leo's shoulder, his gaze fixed on the picture with a deep, longing sadness. He seemed to want something, a connection to his past. "Is this you, Casper?" Leo asked, holding up the photograph. Casper nodded, a tear, like shimmer, appearing in his ethereal eyes. "And this girl, who is she?" Casper gestured to an old music box on a nearby table. It was intricately carved, but its lid was closed, and it looked like it hadn't been opened in years. Leo carefully opened the music box. A soft, tinkling melody filled the air, a lullaby that sounded both familiar and forgotten. The music was sweet and gentle, a stark contrast to the mansion's silence. As the melody played, Casper's ethereal form seemed to glow a little brighter. He drifted and swayed gently to the tune, a look of serene peace washing over his face. "This music, It makes you happy, doesn't it? Leo observed. Casper nodded, his transparent face now beaming, a clear, happy smile. The melancholy was slowly fading. Casper then led Leo to a hidden alcove behind a loose panel in the wall. Inside, a small, worn diary lay tucked away. Its pages were delicate, and the cover was a deep, faded velvet. Leo opened the diary. It was filled with elegant handwriting, telling tales of a young girl's life in the mansion, her dreams, her joys, and her deep love for her brother, Casper. The diary spoke of a special locket that the girl always wore, a locket that held a tiny, polished stone. The entry mentioned the locket was hidden in her favorite rose bush in the garden. Casper pointed towards the overgrown garden outside, his eyes now sparkling with a new kind of energy. He seemed to remember the rose bush, a faint hope in his spectral gaze. Together, they went into the neglected garden. Amidst the thorns and weeds, they found a single, surviving rose bush, still bearing a few delicate, pink blooms. Carefully, Leo searched, his fingers brushing through the leaves, until he felt something small and cold. It was the locket, tarnished but intact, nestled among the roots. He opened the locket. Inside, a tiny glowing stone pulsed with a gentle, warm light. As the light emanated, the mansion felt less cold, and a soft, warm breeze swept through the garden. Casper hovered over the locket, and as the light touched him, his ethereal form solidified slightly. He glowed with a beautiful, vibrant light, no longer translucent, but almost visible. A faint whisper filled the air, a voice filled with gratitude and peace. "Thank you, Leo. I remember now." Casper's form shimmered, and then, slowly, he began to ascend, rising towards the sky, enveloped in the warm, gentle light. Leo watched in awe as Casper, now a beacon of pure, joyful light, floated higher and higher until he disappeared into the clear blue sky, finally free. The mansion, though still old, no longer felt haunted. The air was warm, and a sense of peace settled over it. Leo knew he had helped Casper to find his way home, not to the mansion, but to a place of eternal light,